character profile time, and today we are going to talk about Shelley Unwin.
Why did we pick Shelley Unwin?
I can't remember.
Because she is one of Peter Barlow's other wives, of course.
Oh yeah.
They
mentioned her a couple of times.
Yeah, Shelley. Yeah, that was. They kept mentioning Peter's bigamy, didn't they, a few times this week?
Well, why would it's relevant to the issues at hand, is it not?
Yeah, Shelley was Peter's third wife because he got married to Jessica off screen back in the late 80s, early 90s, I can't remember. And then he married Lucy a little bit later, and then he kind of married Shelley, but it didn't really count because he was married to Lucy.
That's sad.
So this is his fourth wedding that he's been
to.
That he's taken part in as the groom this week. But we're
this
here
week.
What
a busy
I
week.
don't know what I'm talking about. We're here anyway. We're here to talk about Shelley. So Gemma, give us a rundown of Shelley's vital statistics.
She was born on the 19th of November 1973. And her dad was Charlie Unwin and her mother was Bev Unwin, who we met. We didn't meet Charlie, did we?
No, I don't think Charlie was ever. I think he might have died when she was young, maybe. I can't remember. But Bev we met. I like Bev. Such a shame she could never get round to marrying Fred because I thought they made a very nice couple.
Yeah, they should have done. Anyway. Sister? Sharon Unwin?
Yep.
Did we meet her?
I think we did meet Sharon a little bit, only like a couple of episodes. Peter, she married.
In 2003, 10 years ago. She had an unknown child.
Yes, we'll talk more about that child later. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl even.
First appeared on the 9th of May 2001, last appeared on the 29th of September 2006. She was in 757 episodes and she was played by Sally Lindsay.
Yes, she was the 64th most featured character on the show.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Did you
How
enjoy?
many have there been?
Loads of characters.
At least about 65.
Did you like Shelley?
Yeah, she was quite nice. She was friendly, happy, bubbly. Don't really remember. She went through a bit of a phase.
Yeah, she went through a bit of a bad spot when she was going out with Charlie. She was kind of a good, in the tradition of Corrie barmaids, kind of quite brassy, and she wasn't kind of. She obviously had the big personality transplant where she went sort of very withdrawn through the whole Charlie Stubbs thing, but back when she was in her prime.
Yeah, but I think that was justified from the plot.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, she came from working in the rugby club. Dougie Ferguson employed her in 2001, and you could kind of tell that she'd be like almost one of the lads.
Yeah, you've got to be a big personality to put up with that line. Yeah.
Yeah, thinking back when I was doing all the notes about Shelley, it did make me wish that she kind of stayed in it.
Yeah,
I missed
like
her.
Yeah.
I think towards the end I'll live with that. I think towards the end she might have kind of fizzled out a little bit, but I think she could have certainly developed into a long-standing kind of Corrie icon if they'd given her a chance.
But they didn't.
They didn't.
Let's find out.
Let's find out what they did do. So
Gina, who was one of my favourites when I first started watching it, she vied with her for the bar manager post, but she won.
Yeah.
And she started seeing Peter Barlow. In 2002, Peter's Navy friend, Kieran McCarthy, makes a pass at her. And when Peter doesn't believe that Kieran started everything, she leaves him.
Yes. But they didn't last for long.
Peter breaks friends with Kieran and they reconcile and they're BFFs forever and heart Shelley and Peter.
Yes. 2003. Peter and Shelley moved into the pub because this was after Maxine had been killed. So Fred moved in with Ashley for a little bit and so there's room at the pub there. That year, tragedy struck the Unwin clan because her sister Sharon died. And on the day of her funeral, Peter married his secret girlfriend Lucy.
What a cad.
So this is obviously going along the right lines of there's a wedding going on, but there's some other secret scheme of Peter's at the same time.
Peter's evil. Lucy finds out that he hasn't broken up with Shelley and kicks him out, and he ends up marrying Shelley in July, bigamistly.
Is that a word?
Yeah,
I know.
It's written down. Then he leaves Weatherfield when she finds out about Lucy, and her mum's there to help her get back on her feet.
Yes. 2004.
Many tears were shed.
This is one of those episodes in 2004 that I never saw, but I wish I had, because back in early 2004 was when I was living in France, and I missed her date with Eric Gartside, who was played by Peter Kay. You obviously never saw it either.
I thought you didn't like Peter Kay being in it, you said.
No, I don't know. I like Peter
where
Kay
did
being
I
in
get
it.
that idea from
I
then?
don't know. No, I like the idea of him being in it. That was there's lots of clips that we've seen of that guest appearance. And he was in it because he was an old friend of the actresses, and yeah, they were getting on okay, but he took her home, and she got put off by his mother.
You've got to be careful of the mothers.
Yes, she said, "Look, until you cut your apron strings, no deal."
No deal. She started seeing builder Charlie Stubbs. What a fantastic idea! It doesn't take long for him to end up getting Bev in bed, which is a bit weird. Bev confesses, but Charlie makes sure Shelley doesn't believe her, and she leaves Weatherfield. This is all part of his evil plan to try to separate Shelley from her
He was
source of strength.
So manipulative. I can't remember when Charlie first started, but by then he was probably a bad boy and very controlling.
Yeah.
He also she didn't get on with Liz because she was back at that time. Fred offered her a room and a job at the Rovers. And also, Charlie, it didn't take long for Charlie to make his moves on Liz either. But, well, Liz is obviously a bit more strong-willed than Bev, and she was giving his marching orders.
Heave-ho.
Yeah.
Liz gets sacked and gets a job at the Weatherfield Arms.
Yeah, because nobody believes Liz that this had happened.
Charlie becomes enraged at Shelley when she suggests to Dev that Charlie will do building work for Dev on cheap.
Yeah, and so that's when Shelley has to give a grovelling apology for trying to possibly control an aspect of Charlie's business. I think that was the earring pulling out incident.
That's fantastic.
It was round about then, when he grabs the earrings and pulls them out.
That really hurts.
I bet it would. I bet it stung the next morning. She tried to make peace with Bev in secret that Christmas because obviously she loves her mum. But Charlie found out about it and then very cruelly made her call off their meeting. He made Shelley phone up mum and say, "Oh, I can't come, sorry. We can't meet up again." But Bev she smelled a rat.
Deirdre to keep an eye on them for her because she knows something's up.
Yeah. 2005, Charlie was very mean and he convinced Shelley to lose weight because she was a chunky lady. She was a cheery chunky lady.
You don't say chunky.
What would you say?
Curvy.
Curvy. She was curvy. But he decided that he wanted a thinner girlfriend, so he bought her a dress that was too small.
He was very much into the trophy girlfriends, isn't he? And so he humiliates her. And who was it that got pants? Was it Fizz? No.
Yeah, Fizz and Rosie. John State gave her pants.
Very, very, very humiliating.
What's that got to do with?
Well, I'm just saying, like, when a woman gets given clothing that's obviously too small for her.
Oh yeah.
It's really horrible.
Well, it was made worse by the fact that she said, "Oh, I can't wear this." And then he gave it to Jason, and then Violet came parading in this dress, looking obviously stick thin. So that did nothing for her self-esteem.
She becomes a recluse and hides away inside the Rovers and pushes away her friends. Goes a bit mad.
Yeah, that was really sad seeing that happen to her, considering that before she'd been like life and soul, big, brassy character, and she I think she played it quite well. She was
good at that. Very
good
convincing.
sniveler. Yeah, she had to go and see a psychologist though. Charlie had organised this because she had started to withdraw from him. And this psychologist gave her the confidence to stand up to Charlie, and they were all getting prepared to be getting married that year, and then she dumped him at the altar, which is Corrie punch the air moment.
Yes, and Bev was watching.
Oh yes, you go girl. So that was the end of their relationship, or was it? Well, no. The following year, Shelley only goes and has another one night stand with Charlie. After all this has happened.
I don't understand.
No, she was obviously easily led. I think she thought that she was like showing that she had control, but really Charlie was the one that was in control. She was getting a bit annoyed by Bev by this point because she started acting like the landlady once she got engaged to Fred. So Shelley decides to go and move away from Weatherfield, run a country pub, and on the night before she's due to leave, she has this one night stand with Charlie, which led to her getting pregnant. Despite Bev's wishes, she decided to keep the baby, though she told Charlie that it will never know who its father was. And then she went off into the sunset.
So we've never met this baby, and we don't know if it's a boy or a girl.
No, we don't know
anything
anything
about. And when was it? 2006. So I'm quite looking forward to them introducing a new character at some point, but I don't know who would be shocked by the fact that...
No, there's nobody around anymore that's really related to Shelley,
It's
is there?
such a shame,
no
because it would be...
Sunita, no Kieran.
How amazing would it be to have a character in it who either knew that they were Charlie Stubbs' kid and everyone was like acting weird around him, or was in it and then somehow found out that they were...
Yeah.
Because they could bring Shelley back and then she could have a kid and nobody would know, would they?
No.
Because did she just confront Charlie privately?
I don't remember. I do not remember how many people knew that she had a baby. I expect the message must have got round, because I think she was still friends with Sunita by the time she left, and Sunita would have mentioned it to people. I don't think it was a big secret. I don't know I don't think she ever would come back. She's done lots of kind of stage work and a few other bits of TV. Like she's working
she said
on
never say never.
She did say never say never, but she's doing some comedy program on Sky One at the moment, I think, or she has done recently. For me, her most iconic post-Corrie role was playing Pyla Bakewell in Wallace and Gromit's A Matter of Loaf and Death.
Wow.
It was my least favourite of the Wallace and Gromits, but it was nice to have Sally Lindsay in that role.
That's still no bad thing.
So we've got a quote here from her. She said, "I think that Shelley has been through so much as a character during my time here, and I'm really looking forward to working on different projects. I have and always will have a massive affection for Coronation Street, and I want to thank all the cast, production team and writers for everything that has happened for me and my character." And Tony Wood, who was the producer at the time, said, "Sally has been fantastic during her time on Coronation Street. She's done everything that has been asked of her and more." She did certainly have to play quite a range of emotions.
Yeah, she did acting.
She did do proper acting.
Yeah.
So how do you think she stands up against other Rovers barmaids?
I think she's pretty memorable. I don't know. I mean, I probably remember her better than someone like, say, Violet, who was also a barmaid of little consequence.
Although I was thinking... I kind of had forgotten about her a little bit, but when I was doing all the research, I thought, actually, yeah, she was quite a big, important character, and I think she was pretty popular as well. I remember seeing on online polls at the time that Shelley would always rank in the top few characters. I think she just wanted to try other things.
Victim of her own success.
Yeah. I don't know whether I'd like to see her return, and I guess I would, but... There's so little that's tying her into the programme. I don't think she'd really slot in. I guess she might have something to do with Dev, maybe, because of the Sunita link. But
I would welcome her back.
Yes. What about, how do you think the domestic abuse storyline compared to our most recent one?
Well, it was more traditional in that. And standard in that it was the woman being manipulated by the man. But
and it was more manipulation, because it wasn't so violent.
Yeah,
when we had the earring,
physical.
It was all psychological, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he never really apologised, or he made her feel like it was all her fault all the time. Whereas with Tyrone and Kirsty, she kind of like, oh, sorry, I won't do it again. I need you, sort of thing. Whereas he just made her feel like scum, because he was the alpha male and she was just the little woman at home, wasn't she?
Yeah. Well, they both Sally Lindsay and Bill Ward did do.
Well, what do you think about it?
What do I think about it? Yeah, no, the same. I thought it was. I thought it was a good
great
storyline.
Conversation.
I know, we totally agree on this. It was kind of sad. Yeah, to see the character who had been so bright and probably reduced.
It was a good idea to pick her.
Yeah.
If they wanted to do that kind of storyline, just the same as I think Tyrone was the right character for his one, because he's got that kind of, you want to mother him, and he's got that kind of, I don't know, boyish charm, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That makes women want to protect him.
Yeah, they were both good choices. She and Bill Ward have done lots of charity work about it since, so good things have come out of it.
Yeah.
So there we go. There's Shelley. There's not a huge amount to say about her, because at the end of the day, she was just one of a string of Rovers barmaids. She was in it. She was 64th most popular character, and the main. She had those two main storylines.
Yeah, I was going to say that was it really. Those two storylines were her main.
Yeah, but like lots of Rovers barmaids, she was kind of in the background for lots of scenes and got involved in other people's storylines, but there wasn't so much else for her.
Oh well.
Yeah. So that's it for our classic character profile. We shall do a character profile next week, if you're lucky.